continuation of the previous video, but I thought I'd split it up so it wasn't too long. You could just pick and choose which bit you wanted to watch. So we talked about financial motivators. There were 5 of those. Okay, so we've got the 5 financial motivators. So financial incentives to get more out of your workers. Okay, you need to be able to talk about each one, describe each one, say why it works, say why it might not work, and then make recommendations based on a specific business. Okay. Now, the non-financial motivators are going to be more in line with your Hertzbergs, your Maslows, your Mayos. And again, we'll be looking at the same questions. What is it? How should it motivate? How likely is it to be effective? Are there any problems or issues with the method? Okay, so the first one we're going to look at is delegation. We talked about delegation. We talked about organization charts, so the passing down of a task or authority down the organization chart. So that's going to make the subordinate feel valued. If they've been given an important assignment, or I need you to create this report for me, that's going to make the worker feel like the manager trusts them, and that it's going to challenge them. So again, we've got a lot of the words that Hertzberg used: challenge, trust, empowerment, and it's going to make people work harder if they've been delegated good work. What's not going to work is lots and lots of repetitive, simple tasks that the manager can't be bothered to do. Okay, so delegation needs to be done very carefully, because if it overloads the worker, or the worker feels like they're just being given really menial and rubbish tasks, then that's going to be counterproductive and actually demotivate them. So delegation done well can be incredibly good. It can help self-esteem, it can even help self-actualization, and it's certainly a motivator according to Hertzberg. But if it's done poorly, if it's just administration work or lots of work at the same level that isn't challenging and isn't interesting, then that can actually demotivate a worker. So delegation, passing down authority or a task down the chain of command. Consultation and involvement. So this is Mayo's idea, isn't it? That asking workers, what do you like? What do you not like? What would you like to see changed? Asking for feedback. So consultation and involvement is Mayo's main theory, as you should be aware. Okay, so really involving your workers, using some democratic leadership, which leadership is the next topic we're going to start at the end of this week. So yeah, making workers feel like they have input, like their opinion is valued. Again, that's linking to Mayo. It's going to link to self-esteem, and it's going to help with social needs and belonging, according to Maslow. Empowerment, very similar to delegation, so empowering somebody to make decisions, allowing them to complete tasks in the way that they feel is best to meet their skill set, allowing people to make choices. So again, linking back to organization charts, we're talking about a decentralized organization that's trusting middle leaders, trusting people lower down the hierarchy to make some decisions. So again, that's going to make them feel valued. It's going to make them feel trusted and challenged. All these words that Hertzberg talks about. However, if there's too much delegation and too much empowerment, then the top managers can lose control. Okay, the line managers might make poor decisions because they can't see the whole business. They don't have an overview of everything that's going on, so they could be misinformed and make poor quality decisions. But still very good when used correctly and used using the best way for the line manager that really meets that line manager's skill set. Teamwork, again, a conclusion of Mayo, and it's going to help with Maslow's third layer, social needs. So allowing people to work in teams, collaboration, problem solving. Obviously, that's going to help with just that feeling of belonging, that problem solving, that collaboration. But again, teams are hard to set up. It might not be appropriate for all tasks, particularly quite simple tasks. It could slow down production rather than speed it up, particularly initially. So again, you can make links to matrix organizations. Again, that's something that you should know about. But it could be motivational. People do like working in teams, but it really depends on the task and the team dynamic and how well people get on. So now the 3 job ones. So we've got job enrichment. So again, this is a big Hertzberg term. So job enrichment is allowing workers to make choices in how they complete tasks. So it's very closely linked to empowerment. where you are allowing workers some freedom of how they complete tasks, using their own skill set, quite laissez-faire, which again we'll talk about later, but allowing workers to make their own decisions and complete tasks in the way that they see fit. So again, that's going to make them feel trusted. It's going to help with their self-esteem. It's going to help with a lot of Maslow's higher level. And as I said, Hertzberg is also a big advocate of job enrichment. That job enrichment is the way to make people work harder, make the job challenging, make the job interesting, make people want to do the work. However, that's going to be really, really difficult. You could argue, how do you enrich a bus driver? Not picking on bus drivers, but how do you enrich driving a bus around the same route every day? It's going to be very, very difficult. Okay, so that's job enrichment. Very, very powerful, but is it suitable for all jobs? Possibly not. Job rotation, as the name suggests, rotating people around, maybe not that motivational, but it's going to break up the monotony of doing the same thing day in, day out. So let's say you work at McDonald's. One day you might be on the tills, one day you might be on the drinks, one day you might be flipping burgers, one day you might be frying fries. Not going to be super motivational, but it is going to alleviate some boredom and allow people to be multi-skilled and perhaps give them a good understanding of the processes in the business that might allow them to get promoted in the future. Okay, but again, problems. It might not be suitable for high-level jobs. Like, I'm not going to go off and teach maths one day. That's not going to be suitable, is it? Okay, or I'm not going to go off and teach another subject because I'm a specialist and specialism is beneficial. That's the whole benefit of specialism, is that you become an expert in that field. So if you're constantly changing, then there's going to be problems there. So, and the final one, job enlargement, again, very similar to delegation. So it's about making a person's job larger. So if they're bored or they don't, or they have lots of free time in the workplace, it's about giving them more work. Not necessarily more interesting work, that would be enrichment, but more work. So again, if done well, it could keep people busy, it could keep people motivated because they're busy and they're working. However, the work is at the same level, so it's not actually going to make them a better worker or give them any more knowledge. It's quite limited. Okay, so there's a lot of crossover with all 7 of these. Definitely do a bit of your own research on these as well. And then what I would like you to do is fill in the worksheet, which is exactly the same as the financial one, except it has a table for each of these. That is going to take quite a bit of time to do in detail. We're looking for 2 or 3 positives, 2 or 3 negatives for each of these, and then you to have a really good understanding about all 12 motivators, 5 financial, 7 non-financial. Okay, again, any problems, I'll be online, drop me an email, drop a comment, and yeah, that's it, okay?